I'm 39 years old and I was cheated on by my girlfriend who I was with for 3 years. By the time I realized it, it was already too late. While I was wondering whether I should break up with her or not, she broke up with me, and as a result, I ended up getting dumped. At that time, I was very depressed. Because I was over 40 years old and newly single, no one would want a man like that. My name is Jake. I'm 42 years old. I'm a nurse. I was about to get married when my girlfriend cheated on me. I was determined and motivated to get married after that. Then I met Sophia, a woman of the same age as me. At first I dated her without thinking of anything serious. She works for a major company and makes more money than most of her peers. For some reason, Sophia took a liking to me. We went on several dates. I noticed that there was a kindness in her lightheartedness to dating me. After dating for 6 months, we got married. Sophia's parents were divorced, so only her mother congratulated us on our marriage. She was nice to me. I thought, well, this won't be a problem. People around me envied me because my wife worked for a big company, but our life together was very solid. I didn't want to suddenly change our standard of living, and Sophia was okay with that. We'd been living like that for a year. Lately, Sophia's been acting kind of strange. I'm on my way home. She would send texts like that, but now her texts say, I'm working late, or I'm so busy. And there are times where she doesn't text me back at all. I have seen this sort of pattern before. My girlfriend who dumped me also did something like this, so I've learned from her. If you think something's not right, don't believe their lies. And if you have evidence of anything, make sure to keep it safe. Of course, I don't doubt people unnecessarily, but I also don't believe them more than I have to. That's why I believed her the first time, but when it happens 2 or 3 times a month, I started to have doubts about Sophia, and the proof was easy to find. Sophia is a lightweight, but she likes to drink. She falls asleep as soon as she has some alcohol. On weekends, she would fall asleep on the sofa after a few drinks. It happened all the time. That day, she drank a beer and fell asleep. I called to her several times, but she didn't wake up. Then, I heard the ringtone of Sophia's phone. It was on the table, so I didn't think anything of it. I looked at it and saw that it seemed to be a message. It rings a few more times. I cautiously watch Sophia as I look at her phone. I had a good time last night. When can I see you again? The text message ended with a heart emoji. I wonder if this is cheating. I see the messages even on her lock screen. How can she be so sloppy at hiding this? But this is Sophia. She might claim that this person is a friend. In fact, Sophia is surrounded by close friends. She's got a lot of good friends, both men and women. I've been to barbecues with them. Some of them are as lighthearted as Sophia. If you put it that way, I may have to agree with her. Yesterday, she said she was going out for a drink with some friends. Maybe her friend put a heart emoji as a joke. Then I shook my head and thought, no, if I let this go, it would be no different from my past. Doubt people when you have to. Even if this truly was her friend and she wasn't cheating, I need to tell her that I don't like the way she interacts with her friends. I decided to take a picture of Sophia's phone while the message was still shown on the screen. The next day, I called out to Sophia, who woke up on the sofa. Hey, didn't you say you went out drinking with your friends the other day? Was there a guy there too? While you were sleeping, I saw a text on your phone which appeared to be coming from a man. I wasn't sure how honest I wanted to be, so I made it a little vague, and I told her about the message I had seen yesterday. Sophia seemed unconcerned. Yes, there were men. It was like a little party. What? Her words are so shocking that I couldn't keep my voice down. She tells me, her husband, that she went to a party without thinking anything of it. What the hell is going on in her head? I'm so confused. Sophia laughed and said, Married people are really popular at parties. I was the talk of the night the other day. Sophia talks to me as if she were talking to her girlfriends. I didn't know what to say. Oh, but don't worry. I still love you, Jake. Your cooking is delicious, and if I have a nurse as a husband, I don't have to worry if I'm sick, because you'll take care of me. Her statement made me question who I was really talking to. I couldn't understand what Sophia was saying, and she was speaking happily. I told her, So, you're not cheating on me. Well, I'd like you to stop interacting with people like that. Sophia looks at me plainly and responds, Was it cheating? I love you anyways. You're my husband, Jake, and besides, I pay most of the rent. I've been saving money for us too, so it shouldn't be a big deal if I play around with other men, right? I didn't know what to say. She thought my worth was different. We never talked about cheating before we were married. I didn't think it would be this far-fetched. She's telling me that she's fulfilling her responsibilities as a wife, so it doesn't matter if she's having an affair. I see then. Then there's no way I can agree with that. If I keep talking like this, I feel like I'm going to be talked out of it, so I cut the conversation short and got breakfast ready. When I brought out the food to my wife, "Jake's food is so delicious," Sophie says while eating, with a smile on her face. If I fall for her flattery, I'd be condoning the affair. I decided to drop the subject for now, and over the next few days, I thought about it. Sophia's right. She's fulfilling her responsibilities as a wife. I have no complaints about that, but that doesn't mean I will allow her to have an affair. I wonder what other men would think. Well, some men think it's okay for their wife to cheat. If she's working and bringing in money, I guess. However, we've only been married for a year. It's not an exaggeration to say that we're newlyweds. If I'm thinking about what counts as cheating and what doesn't, it's already getting troublesome, at least for me. I can see my wife having an intimate drink with a man, or walking arm in arm with him. I don't know how far Sophia has actually gone with a man, but from what she said, I think she's probably doing that much. I sigh. It's not good to dwell on it. I'll talk to Sophia about it. Hey, about before, I approached Sophia. I know what you were trying to say, but I married you because I love you, and I don't want to see my wife hanging out with other men alone. I also don't like seeing intimate messages between another man. Sophia listened to my concerns carefully. "I'll think about it," she said. The reply was not clear, but I told her what I thought. If she's going to ask me for a divorce, I'll just have to accept it. That's what I thought, but after that, Sophia seemed to change. She stays at home more. When she goes out with her friends, she sends me a picture of her with the members of the group. I felt safer after that. But then, 6 months later, an incident happened. When I came home from work, I received a phone call from an unknown number. It was a call from a hospital. Sophia had been in an accident and was rushed to the emergency room. She was in the intensive care unit. I think she said she had to go to her parents' house today, but it's a different hospital from the one near her parents' house. Is she with her mother? That's what I was thinking, so I called her mother, and she picked up normally. "Sophia didn't come here, and she never said that she was coming," she said. I told Sophia's mother about the situation, and then I drove quickly to the hospital. I got here sooner than my mother-in-law, and I heard what happened from the doctor. A speeding truck in the opposite lane failed to make a turn and hit the car that Sophia was driving. Sophia is currently unconscious. I sat down in a chair in the waiting room, trying to comprehend what I was told. There was no way she came all the way out here by herself. Then who the hell was she with? As I was walking down the hallway, I heard a voice. It was a man's voice. "I've been in an accident, and it's terrible. What if he finds out?" He was on the phone with someone. I moved closer to hear the voice better. I knew his face from somewhere. I heard the man say Sophia's name clearly. Oh, so he's her lover. I knew I've seen him before. He's the man that Sophia said she met at the party 6 months ago. Without any hesitation, I record the conversation with the voice recorder on my phone. Apparently they went on a day trip together, and on their way there, they had an accident. It was a place where Sophia and I saw on TV once, and she told me that she wanted to go there. I was strangely frustrated, but also furious. After a while, the man noticed my presence and turned to me, but I guess he didn't know what I looked like. He thought I was just another person in the waiting room. He hung up the phone and walked away. I returned to the waiting room with a lot on my mind. Then the nurse called me in. Sophia was lying there in pain. The doctor tells me, "She has not regained consciousness yet. Tonight is the critical point." These doctors and nurses probably know my situation. An unfaithful wife on a date with her lover. Her husband rushes to the scene without knowing anything, but there are a lot of cases like that. They may be numb to it because of their job. I'm the same way. I don't care who my patients are, so don't feel sorry for me. I told the doctors and nurse. Then I'll be off. The doctors looked surprised. I left the room while side-eyeing my wife, who was lying on the hospital bed. When I left the room, I saw my mother-in-law, and I explained Sophia's condition. My mother-in-law seemed to understand that there was something going on between us as well. When I told her, "I'm leaving," she said, "Take care." The next day after work in the evening, I looked at my phone. I found a text message from my mother-in-law. Sophia had regained consciousness. She survived. I wanted to call her, but I didn't know how to talk to her. I opened up my text messages and typed a message to my mother-in-law to tell her what happened yesterday. I told her that the person who was in the car with her when she was in the accident was her lover, and that Sophia lied to me about going to her parents' house. When I got home, I noticed that I was getting a call from my mother-in-law. When I answered the phone, she was angry. She must have kind of figured it out yesterday, though. So, Sophia was cheating on you? Who is the other man? Do you have proof? My mother-in-law was relieved that her daughter survived, but she said it was unforgivable that she had been unfaithful to me. In fact, the reason for my mother-in-law's divorce was her husband's infidelity. She said it was after Sophia entered the workforce. I thought it was just a personality mismatch and a divorce at a young age, but it turns out that there was a clear reason for the divorce. She must have known that I was suffering. Sophia was going to be in the hospital for a while, so my mother-in-law came by the house. I told Sophia that you were with her the entire time, but you had to leave because there was an emergency at work, my mother-in-law informs me. She listened to what I wanted to do next, and with the help of my mother-in-law, I was able to prepare for a divorce. I did my duty as a husband, taking care of her while she was in the hospital and handling the insurance, but at the same time, I'm preparing for divorce. It's a strange feeling. Sophia's out of the hospital in a month or so. She's on crutches, and her arm is bandaged. I know it's not easy, but for the time being, it's relief. I'm so glad you're a nurse, Jake. Sophia thinks I'm going to take care of her on the car ride leaving the hospital. When we arrive home, my mother-in-law is there. Sophia thought that her mother was waiting for her to come home to greet her after being discharged, but that was not the entire truth. I sat Sophia down on the table, and I handed her the divorce papers. What? Sophia is puzzled. I can't believe you got into an accident in the middle of a date with your affair partner, and you went to a place that you told me you wanted to go to. Sophia's face turned pale. I didn't know that you still kept in touch with the man you met at the party. I found evidence of the affair on the computer in your room. You thought that an affair would be justified if you fulfilled your duties as a wife, but that's not how the law works, and I even told you not to do that. My mother-in-law watches our interaction with a stern look on her face. Your lover has already paid me the full amount of alimony. I bet that guy had no idea that the guy he passed at the hospital was the husband of the woman he was cheating on her with. He said he was fine with it because his wife knows that he's cheating on her. That's so sad. Sophia is getting paler and paler as she listens to me, but I don't care. Well, it seems like he knew that he was in the wrong. He sold the brand name gifts you gave him and paid me alimony with that money. You must have spent a lot of money on him, he said. You were a good earner. I put the divorce papers in front of Sophia again and held out a ballpoint pen. Good thing your dominant hand is still usable. It'll be tough living on your own like this, but good luck. Sophia finally begins to make excuses. No, you're wrong. I was just messing around with him. It was nothing serious. There's no need to get a divorce. I still love you, Jake. I sigh. Yeah, it must be troubling if I were to leave you in your current state, but that's why I'm divorcing you now. I don't want you to cheat on me again once you've recovered. No matter if it was serious or not, an affair is an affair. If you love me, then you wouldn't be going on dates with your lover, would you? I yelled at her, and her mother glared at Sophia. Sophia noticed this, so she gave up and started to sign the divorce papers with her crippled hand. After that, once I was paid the alimony, I moved out of the city where I had been living. Although Sophia lives with her mother now, she only takes care of her minimally. She had a hard life until she got well. When she recovered, her mother kicked her out of the house. When she went back to work, people started making rumors about her divorce and affair. She couldn't take it anymore, so she resigned from her job. She thought it would be easy to get a new job, but it seems she was too prideful to work for a small company, so she remained unemployed. She's now working part-time at a convenience store. Her mother even says that Sophia is a stranger to her now. My family relationship with my mother-in-law is now over, but we still go out for dinner once in a while. We're both enjoying our second life together.